King of the Pit, media. Bruh, why did nobody put me on game? Why did nobody put me on game? I had to find this album and this band through my own grown man explorations. Why did nobody put me onto this? Why have I spent a hot minute in metal, death metal, slam, girl grind, hardcore punk, New York, hardcore punk, beat down, tough guy music, right? In England, why has nobody gone out of their way to put me on to this band? Have I heard much of this band's material? No, but I've heard one record. And I've heard their debut. I've heard their debut record. And I'm going to tell you when that record was from. 1995. October 10th, to be precise. 10 tracks on this record. I had a mate. He said, bruh, this band's playing soon. I'm going to go catch them. Cool. Since hearing them, I've seen them at a few performances on the old YouTubes. But why does no one gas them to a higher degree? Internal Bleeding. The album in particular I'm speaking of is their debut. Voracious Contempt. Suffocation is a bit too tech for me. From what I'm aware so far in my Suffocation experience. I've seen Suffocation live. Bit too tech. Devourment hits the spot. Arguably, Devourment might be the epitome of extreme metal music. Molesting the Decapitated. Original recordings, original mix, arguably might be the epitome, the pinnacle of extreme music, full stop. How come I've been in a circuit where people mosh the crowd, when people headbang, when people make guttural, gurgly noises, where people support extreme music, and I've not seen nobody plug Internal Bleeding? How have I come across this record through my own merit and search as a grown man? And I say that because I'm not searching for new bands in this day and age. I need you to give me some game. I need to peep some game, man. I banged this thing on. Voracious Contempt, 10 tracks, 41 minutes to 44 minutes of audio. Bruh. It's foot on the gas from start to finish. I read a couple of reviews prior to cracking the old video recorder open, yeah? Some guy says it was their attempt at copying Suffocation. Bruh! Every flipping groovy death metal band post 94 is trying to copy Suffocation. We can't all point the finger at that. This, to me, is... I'm going to be blasphemous and say this debut album by Internal Bleeding, and I could say Internal Bleeding as a whole, blah, 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 blah. Bruh, I don't care what they sound like from here on in. I don't care. I've got everything I need from this record. This record is better than Suffocation's debut. It's better. It's better. Sounds better. Sounds better. We can leave the tech at home. Just give me a few noisy blast bits and then kick into the groove. You can tell this is a New York record. That's why on the introductory moment of this video, I had to bring up New York hardcore and so forth. You can tell that the spirit of hip-hop resides in this band through a tiny margin. Through the late 80s New York hardcore bands. Through your breakdowns, through your outbursts and your bands of the like. This is one of the most ignorant records I've heard. You're pelted in the face by a sledgehammer every 30 seconds. The vocals are primitive, nonsense. We don't need them to be coherent. The album overstays its welcome because you get 10 tracks of consistent assault to the cranium. It is the most primitive experience I've had in a long time when it comes to music. You can pretend to be heavy now due to the studio magic and wizardry, and you can get put up on flipping, I don't know. I don't even know. I don't know what the popular, like, polished YouTube channels are for, like, beatdown and down tempo and deathcore adjacent music, because I don't care. I don't want the band to sound like they were produced in the solar system above and away planet Earth. No. Don't need that. This record sounds like it was recorded in a decent studio with a decent mix. Gritty, grey, dry, double kick, wigger assault music. I go to these beatdown events, I see no one wearing a Eternal Bleeding shirt. I see no one giving props to what I deem a ferocious showcase of not only death metal, but dance floor music. A particular video picked up steam as of recent because Dying Fetus played at an event, a hardcore event. And people were, it raised the fascinating discussion in the comments because generally speaking, they're performing to metal crowds. Why not? That's where the money is. Metal tours, where the money is, But Dying Fetus is a name and the people enjoyed them and the people kicked off. And then when you compare and contrast that to the sets you see from this act, yeah, good, but I would say incredibly underrated an act. That's some food for thought for today. That one goes out to the metalheads. Put some respect on that record. That's all I'm saying. Do I want to go through the rest of their discography? No, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Do I want to go through the 5 songs after the first 5 songs of the record? No, I don't give a fuck. Because it's so cohesive, it's so consistent, that I know what I'm to get. I've already experienced, and what I've already experienced has been utter magic. I've got a kick of brutality, of masculine fertility. My essence is booming. It feels like I've been on flipping semen retention for 8 years. I'm ready to go do someone dirty. It's an ignorant record. I'm signing out on that piece.